WEFM, the new fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
And we are back with you for another segment of our Activated Mornings program here on WEFM. At this time, we will be conducting an interview with Honorable Orando Brewster. He is the Minister for Housing, Informal Settlements, Youth and Sports, as well as the area representative for Central Leeward. So, is it okay if we refer to you on a first name basis? I prefer however you feel comfortable.
You can refer to me, yes, on the first name basis. That's fine. That's quite fine.
Okay. So
most people know me as Randy.
All right. So we can use Randy.
You can use Randy. That's fine.
Okay. All right. So in studio, well, let me do the introduction properly. All right. So in studio, we have Dianna, Cain, and myself, Roleza Samuel. Our co-host, our usual Monday morning co-host, Dr. Gerald Thompson. And as mentioned before, we will be interviewing Honorable Orando Brewster, who has said it's okay for us to refer to him as Randy. So Randy it is. All right.
That's fine.
All right. So welcome to the studios of WEFM and to the Activated Mornings program.
Thank you for having me this morning. It's a pleasure to be in the studio of WEFM. I'm no stranger to WEFM, but it's been a while. So I'm happy to be on the inside with the team this morning.
Yes. All right. How are you doing though?
Well, it's been very hectic. A lot of work. Some short nights, making the day lighter.
I could say that last night you were I wouldn't say pelting bullets, but you were hot. Yes, that was a big show last night. What do you say?
Yes, definitely. We had an excellent candidate selection in North.
And you haven't had yours yet?
No, actually.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Okay, we think it is just West Kingston left, and we were informed East St. George.
Wait,
so this weekend, this Sunday, you will have my candidate selection happening at Barley at the Learning Resource Center in Barley. And listen, when Central Leeward,
Tisha Road coming down,
when Tisha Road come out,
yes,
when all the different areas in Barley, Butland, Glass, Curtin Hill, Curtains, we're gonna have a good time this weekend. I'm really excited about what is going to happen on Sunday coming. Listen, I think if you're not doing anything, Miss Samuel and Miss Cain, you should find yourself in Barley on Sunday evening.
Rather than hearing about it, you should
come and see it.
And is it okay for me to show up in a different color? No, I'm not going to wear yellow. But is it okay for me to show up in purple or something?
Yes, it is not about the color, it's about the plans, the progress, the policies, and the message that you're going to take away from Sunday. So yes, all are welcome. You can come out in your numbers. Because this is not about the complaining industry, Orando Brewster is a serious young man who is very responsible, and I'm looking forward to my next term so I can continue the serious work that I've been doing in the constituency of Central Leeward. So come in here, and you know what's going on in Central Leeward, Doc. I don't have to hide it. There's a lot happening in the constituency of Central Leeward. Since I got into office in 2020, we had at that time COVID, and we had to work through COVID. After that, volcanic eruption, and I am the Minister of Housing, so I have been constantly working for the past 4+ years, going into 5 years, and I never get weary yet. Just telling you that.
I'm sure that's a line from a song.
Yes.
All right, so let's just begin. Give us a little bit of your background.
Okay, so Orando Brewster was born and raised in a little place called Tisha Road. Very mighty area. Very passionate about the area that I reside. I was born to a teenage mom, had me very young. I was raised in an extended family, which my great grandmother at the time, who was the matriarch of the family, did all that she could to make sure that we had an okay life. It was rough. I would always say that. I know what it is to have your morning bath for school at the standpipe, because at that time there was no running water in the home. I knew what it was to have the pit toilet on the outside, so I didn't born and meet the flush. And the thing I love about the area that I was raised, it was a very welcoming community. I can say this very openly. I was not only raised by my family, but I was raised by that village. And if you see now that they are carrying on, I am one of the few that made it out of that village. I was a role model from very young, involved in numerous things across Leeward. I was once on the Leeward Cultural and Sports Organization. I did a lot of work coming up. But one of the hallmarks of my upbringing was my education, because that's all I had. I was an avid sportsman. I represented my country at the national level and at the regional level, and that was my outlet. So I had a good balance of academics and sports. My great-grandmother, God rest her soul, she was one of those persons in that community that if at the time you did not make that 150 mark for common entrance, she will walk to take some of these students to beg for them to get a chance, an opportunity for them to pursue a secondary education. Sometimes she was successful. Sometimes she was said, we didn't have any room. So it was always in me that education was my way out of poverty, because the area where I'm from is not an area paved in gold. And I'm so happy that now we have made a lot of strides from back then to now. And this week, one of the most touching things for me, and these are the things that I really love. There's a young lady from that area who got pregnant very young. And many folks give up on her. She was attending the Barley Secondary School. And she reached out. And she said, I want to go back to school. I want to do something. That time, I was at the Ministry of Mobilization. And we have a teen mothers program. So I was able to enroll her. She just passed her CXCs, or CSEX exam. And she sent me a nice little message to say thank you. Because sometimes I don't look for the grand things. Mm-hmm. I look at like my grandmother used to say, one will fill basket. But she is one of the first from her family in Tisha Road that is now going off to college. She passed both math and English. So she has an opportunity now to go off to college. This is how we change the cycle of families in Central Leeward. And I am a big advocate for skills and training for the young men to get up and do something with your life. I don't want you to sit back and say, nothing happened for me. Because I could have said the same thing. Mm-hmm. Nothing happened for me. But I put my best foot forward.
Do you think that your upbringing though has made you maybe the ideal person to represent your current ministry? Because you are able to relate to...
Absolutely.
Okay.
And, now you said that. For housing, for example, I grew up in a 1-bedroom house. And remember I said that we had an extended family, from the grandmother to my uncles, my aunts. I knew what it was to sleep on the floor. And sometimes you see, especially during this period after the hurricane, that is why I worked so hard, because I knew what it is to live in less than ideal conditions. And I know what it is to put the cups and the buckets to catch the water when it's raining from the roof. I know what it is to take the old cloth and push it in the hole so that the old people say, don't make the draft come in. So, my upbringing is what cemented me in my constituency. I say, I don't all I want to do when I finish this thing, I don't want nobody to come and honor me. I just want the Almighty to say, well done, thou good and faithful servant. That's all I want. That's all I'm looking for.
Recently, Randy, a lot could be said. You are a medical doctor. And when you entered into politics, I remember my good friend Jomo Thomas writing a critical article that you were stupid to enter into politics. Do you have, based on what you just said, any regrets that you didn't pursue?
Doc, you're reading my question?
Yes, I'm reading your question. That you didn't pursue your personal, individual, medical
The internship.
doctor versus that of what you're doing now today in politics.
I always say this. Yes, I graduated with a degree in medicine, and as you speak now, I'm wrapping up a master's in public administration. I've never been the type to box myself in, and like Doc just mentioned, there were skating articles telling me to don't go in, pull back,
finish.
This is not for you.
Finish it. You finish it.
And should I say one of them is that your seat was a critical seat in Labour winning because of the narrow margin, 8-7 and 9-6 and so on.
I always do things thinking very critically about my next step. Now, yes, in medicine, you touch lives, but it's limited to those who are sick. But in politics, there's a broader base. You can touch those who are sick. You can touch those who are poor, those who are vulnerable. Sometimes you don't see the poor. You don't see the one in the background who is not saying anything, but they're suffering in silence because they might be, like I said earlier, living in less than ideal conditions. And I have touched many lives. And you don't have to be in medicine alone to touch lives. And I have no regrets. I can say this openly. I have absolutely no regrets.
Okay, you have no regrets, but would you recommend it for somebody else, though?
I would,
because I guess you felt like this was your calling. But would you advise persons to answer the call, or let me get that certification down pack first before entering politics?
Well, the certification is down pack. I have the certification.
Right.
But what I'll say is this: follow your dreams. Do not box yourself in. We are living in a time now where opportunity is wide-reaching, far-reaching. And there are many, and we have many lessons from persons who started somewhere and ended up somewhere else, but being more successful in the other avenue that they ended up in. So I will say to young people, and like you said, I'm happy you said it was my calling.
Well, it seems so.
It was my calling. But one of the things that really pushed me, this was not me being opportunistic. Politics presents itself, I'm taking this opportunity. I live amongst my people, and they wanted a young man who can relate to them from very humble beginnings, who will say, I am on your side, I am in your corner, I am working for you. And they are the one who sealed the deal. Because, yes, you go to the Almighty in prayer, you speak to your family members about it, but also you speak to the matriarchs of the community, the patriarchs of the community. And the feedback was, we love you, we are with you, and we want you to go forward with this. I have absolutely no regrets.
You had a lot of trust as well, too, because these persons could have been telling you, well, go for it, and you just never know. So was it more faith in God than anything else?
Absolutely. My faith in God was it never wavered. It never wavered. And he who, I always say, who started that good work will always see it to completion.
Okay.
When you went into office in 2020, that was your first time in as a ULP candidate, right? As a political candidate?
Yes, it was. But I worked in 2015 with Sir Louis Straker. I was the president of the Central Leeward Youth Arm. So I'm no stranger to politics. Before 2015, I spent some time doing my studies and so on. I was overseas for a little bit. But I worked with the youth. So when the results came in on 2020, and you saw Orando Brewster did well at the polls, those same young people from 2015, and some of them even from before that, they're still with Orando Brewster, And I always give them the opportunity so that they can fly. By the way, this week, we have 3 massive back to school in my constituency. Today, we're doing Bookament. On Wednesday, we're doing Leeward at the Hard Court. And on Friday, we are wrapping it up in Barry. And this is no election gimmick. This is something that I've been doing annually, year in, year out. And by the way, this didn't start when I got into politics. I started my career at the Barley Secondary School as a young teacher at the age of 18 years of age, at 18. And I took care of all of those kids from my area in Tish Road because I knew sometimes. Listen, I don't hide this thing, Sometimes mommy and daddy had to make a critical decision whether you go to school today or not. And, I always say, money should not be a deterrent for someone to not finish their education. Some people ask, why you join the ULP? Education, the revolution, the opportunities coming up. We have 3,000 plus scholarships coming up just now. Where in across the Caribbean? Let me expand it a little bit. Have you heard such a thing?
All right, so you know what? We stick up in there. We stick up in there.
I'm just getting warm,
And I realize, but you would also answer or extend that point of why the ULP, why you chose to join the ULP, apart from Education Revolution, but why else? All right?
Yes.
All right, so we are going to have to take a break at this time as it is 8:30. And every Monday at 8:30, it is our court desk. All right, so let's take a break and be back with our interview with Honorable Orando Brewster.
Nothing